Here are the materials I'm going to make the next coil form, the one for the broadcast band for the 511 all-band radio. Here's a pill bottle, and here's an old tube base, 8-pin, and here's some epoxy, and here's the wire, the number 24 gauge. So I'm going to drill some holes in the bottom here and wind the coils, take them out here. Then I'm going to attach them to the appropriate connectors in the tube base. Then I'm going to epoxy the two together, and it should make a nice coil. So this one is very similar in size to the other one. It's a little bit, I'd say it's the same same size. So there shouldn't be any problem directly copying the instructions on the 511 tube radio, original instructions that say that the L2 should be 70 turns, and I think L1 should be 5 and L3 should be 5. So shouldn't be a problem, and I'll get to work on that very quickly. So at the top we can see that band L1 or band 1 and the broadcast band coil L1 is 5 turns or 3 feet of wire. Here I've drilled the holes in the bottom of the pill container, and I put the 3 feet of wire, I've wound it on the bottom, so that will be coil L1. So it's just loosely on there until I can put it on with some epoxy. So I'm going to start the 70 turns next. Going to have to decide if I'm going to put it in line or will I put it off to the side. I might put it off to the side or on the opposite side, because I don't want the wires to run too far inside. I want them just to be as short as possible. So in order to determine how much space horizontally I need for the 70 turn coil, I'm going to have to measure this one, 2.63 millimeters. Let's just round that off to 3, and then just multiply the width by whatever that would be for 70. I just thought of a better way to determine how many millimeters. The width of this wire is approximately, just roughly, half a millimeter. So 0.5 times 70 is 35. So 35 millimeters is what I need. 35 millimeters. Let's see here. There. And lock that. There we are. Okay, here I've measured it and drilled the holes for the second coil. And it's a little, made it a little short of 35, but should be okay. Here's the measurement, 35 roughly. Okay, so I'll start winding it. So now I have wound the L2 and then the last 5 turn coil L3. Here is the coil, loosely wound, with the reaction reticular coil, the main tuning coil, and the antenna coil down at the bottom. The most important thing I'm going to have to make notice of is the orientation and putting the right type of so this will be 1 and 2. Let's see here, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 4, it says here on the schematic, 4 and 5 have to be tied together to give more capacitance. These have to be together, so 4 and 5 for this particular coil have to be tied together. That gives more capacitance to tune with this coil L2, so it'll go lower in frequency. So here I'm putting a bridge between 5 and 6. I mean 4 and 5, not 5 and 6. There. So now I'm going to be threading the wires through before I solder them, and it's very important to note the orientation. The bottom of the coil, all the coils have to be in the same sequence, or else it won't work. Here I'm soldering the ends. I pulled them through out of the socket. Just clean that off. And solder that. A bit more solder in there. Some in there. Pull it away. Solder that one. And it's running down the side. And I'll just clip these, and then I will jerk some of them, heat them up and jerk them so that the solder, excess solder, comes out. There, the solder has overflowed. There's another one, the solder has overflowed. So now I'm going to take this meter and see if there's continuity. There isn't any there. Let's see here. Should be continuity there. Why isn't there any continuity between these pins? Maybe it needs more solder down in the I put them together and they weren't making contact. So now I'm going to have to start over again. A major mistake I made was not tinning these so that they can, the solder will flow right down when I touch it on the end of these pins. So that's something to remember. Here's the finished product sitting in the radio. And now that's completed. So now we have the 3 coils for the 911 all-band radio.